I usually, at this point, like to ask a question. Is it right to say, I have a soul? Is it? You have a soul? I don't have a soul. I am a soul. There's a difference. Yeah? If I say I have a soul, then still it begs the question, who am I? I am the body with a soul? No, I am a soul. The soul is me. So the person that's thinking and, absorbing and acting and doing, whether it's good or bad, negative or positive, it's the soul that's doing it. The soul's not immune to action. How does the soul collect karma? Because it does the action. And then that karma's accumulated and we reap the fruit of that action. Of course, karma philosophy is another big subject, so that's for another time maybe. Very fascinating subject. I, the soul, perform action through the vehicle of my body. I, the soul, reap the reward of that action. And so our first practice in meditation is not to try and stop the thoughts. Can you blank your mind? Can you? You can't, actually. You can try and suppress your thinking. Suppression isn't part of meditation. That's false. Let's use, our thoughts are energy. Our thoughts are a powerful energy, so let's use that. Let's use thoughts. Let's create thoughts of our choosing, of the original self. So meditation is a flow of thoughts. I am a soul. I am a being of light. In the center of my forehead, my original state is peace. When we begin to create these elevated thoughts, our whole awareness begins to change and our inner feelings begin to change. Because then those original qualities are being released. Then I'm beginning to live as an eternal being. I'm beginning to live in reality. And we have a term that we use in Raj Yoga. We say, when I'm living in that reality, I'm soul conscious. Right? You can use spirit conscious if you like. I'm just, in a way, it's the meaning that's important, but I'm just sharing with you. Sometimes terminologies are useful because they give us that awareness of what we have to do. And when I'm not in that awareness of my eternal self, and I'm in the awareness of the body, I am Maureen, I am, a coordinator of this, I am a businessman, I am a doctor, I'm a teacher. We're very much in the awareness of our bodily identity. Then we call that body consciousness. And there's a big contrast between the two, because when I'm body conscious, then I need to be fed recognition. I in fact become needy. I need love. I need respect. I need affirmation and confirmation to maintain my self-respect. And if I don't get it, I feel insulted. I feel a little hurt. I live on my ego. But when I'm soul conscious, I don't have a need for any of that. I'm free. Because my self-respect depends on who I am, and that's eternal. So nobody can actually add to it or detract from it. I remember once in a gathering, one of our elder sisters was asked, what do you do if somebody stands up and in front of a group of people they insult you? What would you do? Not a pleasant situation, is it? And she gave such a matter-of-fact answer. She said, well, if you really have done something wrong, then apologize. And if you haven't done anything wrong, ignore it. And I pondered on her answer. I thought, that's an answer where there's no ego. Where there's ego, well, I try to cover it up if I've done something wrong. I don't want to lose my respect. Where there's ego, then if I've not done anything wrong, I have to justify it. And you know, sometimes, we were talking this morning about proving the truth. A person in front of you may be doing something of falsehood. You try to prove that you're right and they're wrong, and you get a little bit angry. Now who's in the wrong? Two wrongs don't make a right. You've come into your force and your ego. So who's wrong? So our ego leads us in very dangerous directions. But I'd just like to quote another thing from another of our elder sisters. When she was defining ego, she said very simply, ego means go. And I often think of that. Okay, now, go. That's enough. So meditation is really going into the depth of those elevated thoughts of who I am. And I begin to, because my thoughts are now connected inwards rather than externally, I begin to experience that real inner silence. The noise from the outside world is not entering my mind. I am silent within. And in that silence, then it's not only that I connect with who I am very deeply, and there's a lot of joy in that, but I can also connect with the divine. If we try to connect with the divine, or the Supreme, or God, of course, again, many terminologies, if we try to connect while we're still in our body conscious state, it's very difficult and it feels very frustrating. We talk to God and it's as if God isn't hearing us. And we say, God, are you deaf? Listen to me. But when I go into that state of soul consciousness, the energy can connect. I am energy. God is energy. If I'm to connect with God, my energy has to be on the same vibrational level as the energy of the divine. Otherwise, a connection is not possible. It's a connection through vibration.